What is up, guys? This is Authentic B with a new video today. First of all, I apologize for the quality of the video. I know you guys are used to something higher quality. I'm new to this, but I did want to have this video because I do want to speak about certain things, and it's kind of getting frustrating at this point because there is injustice that is going on, and there's very clear injustice that is going on, and it's getting called out by a few YouTube channels and it is getting called out by a few people. But there's always a group of people who will sort of contribute to the chaos and who will contribute to the injustice, and then will completely just stand on the sidelines for whatever reason, right? And I think in this whole Andrew and Tristan Tate situation, it's becoming more and more clear by the day that there is no evidence against them, and that if any one of us, including those college chicks from those videos where they say they just hate Andrew Tate and they think he's a misogynist and all that type of stuff, if any of us had our brothers or our family members in jail without any evidence, without the government providing any evidence, like their lawyer said, this is the highest form of punishment by a government towards people. We would not accept it towards our brothers. We would not accept it towards our cousins. We would not accept it towards our fathers. We would not accept it towards our sons. This is completely unacceptable, and this is completely unjust. And injustice needs to be called out, right? And I've heard Alban preach in the past say things like, oh, this isn't a topic that pertains to us. We're just not interested in this topic. They made a whole video about that in the past. And this might be something that they could have said. They could have at some point said, oh, you know what? We're not that interested in this topic. We're not going to comment on it. But they did make a video calling it out, and Abba got a bit heated, especially in the comment section. And I think that's going to come back to bite them in the future because they are going to have to apologize for this. And from what I've seen so far with their videos and everything, they do have the integrity to admit when they are wrong. And all people are wrong at some point. Everyone is wrong at some point. Everyone makes mistake at some point, and everyone prejudges as well. But what happened is absolutely this whole lawyer video that went viral, that I commented on in my previous video, this whole voice message thing that went viral, everything that came from Vice, all of that stuff is not what they are being accused of, and there is no evidence for what they are being accused of. And given the fact that they've been in prison for 60 days or whatever, and the government has not had to provide a single shred of evidence, hasn't had to provide a single shred of evidence, and is keeping people who are potentially innocent. And in my mind, they are innocent, but my mind doesn't matter, right? What matters is if you do not have evidence, you cannot just take people off the street just because you don't like them, or from their houses and put them in prison for a prolonged period of time. That is unjust. That is the basis of the justice system, as you cannot just no matter what country you're from. Oh, your main is different from the U.S. Innocent until proven guilty is in the U.S. Trust me, that's not the case. And you do not have the rights to just take people from their homes and just put them in prison for no reason in any country, even in the most, speaking morally and ethically, even in the most dictator, quote unquote, country, dictator, whatever, led country, you do not have the right to do that. And that is unjust, and that needs to be called out. And there's so many people who are not calling it out. And you know that saying about discipline, that you cannot be disciplined. I forget what it is, but you cannot practice discipline if you feel like doing something, right? If I feel like going for a run and I go for a run and then I get tired and I stop and I go back home and I take a cold shower, that's not really discipline. When I do not feel like going for a run and still go for a run, that is me practicing discipline. So you cannot practice discipline unless you don't feel like doing something. Same thing goes for courage. You cannot practice courage if you are not afraid of something, right? You cannot be courageous if you're saying what all the mainstream is saying and you are not punished for what you're saying, right? That's not what the definition of courage is. The definition of courage is standing up for something even though you fear that you might lose a lot for standing up for that thing, right? The definition of courage is if someone is beating up your brother in the street, you run up to that person even though you know that you might lose that fight, but you're still gonna go, and that's courageous. If you know you're gonna beat the guy up, if the guy is 3 years old, that's not really courageous per se, you know. So that being said, I think this is this is, I guess, part of my slideshow or whatever. Anyway, the whole Alba and Preach situation is absolutely, it's just absolutely ridiculous that they have the knowledge, and they have the experience, and they have the age, and they have absolutely no excuses to not look further into this case, and to not look further into this and say, hey, we might have spoken too early. We spoke too early. We made a mistake, and all that was provided previously seems to have been not accurate, and we apologize for it. Since they've already dipped their toe into that topic, they could have just said we don't want to deal with it, like they've said on other topics in the past, which is kind of fine and kind of a cowardly move, but kind of fine if they don't want to do it. Whatever, that's up to them. They're free human beings. But to contribute to the injustice is absolutely horrible in my opinion, and needs to just, they need to just take a look again at the evidence and take a look at what's been surfacing and base their opinion based on that. And they at this point, it's been weeks since they've commented, and I think they need to comment on that. But whatever, it's not like I'm coming after YouTubers. That's not the goal of this channel. That's not the goal of my life goal. That's not what I'm focused on, coming after YouTubers, right? That's not my goal. My goal is to just try to help, if that's possible, in whatever way possible. And I do not have a large following. I have 0 subscribers literally, so I have no following whatsoever. And this YouTube channel can get shut down in a day, and most likely that'll be the end of it. So that I really have no that's not my goal in life. I have other goals in life, but my goal growing up, my belief system has been to stand up against injustice, basically stand up for justice. And if I can contribute with these small YouTube videos, I'll try my best to do it. But obviously, I don't have the following, so whatever. But that being said, um, people with bigger followings need to have some consciousness when it comes to this, or I hope they do have some consciousness when it comes to this. Conscientiousness. I don't know what the word is, but anyway. Um, so another thing is, I did want to comment on the topic of Joe Rogan and bigger YouTubers, even than Alba and Preach, and bigger, I guess podcasters or celebrities or whatever. And there has been so many people that have been quiet about this thing. They've been so quiet, and it's time to. I'll make another video speaking about the whole details of the case of Andrew Tate and all that stuff, and I will make one soon, and Tristan Tate. But there's been so many people that have been like quiet, and they've been on the fence, and they've said some stuff that isn't too controversial and all that type of stuff, including Joe Rogan. And it is sad to see that, because you see people who are going to jail, and it's not just Andrew and Tristan, right? It's just that they're high profile celebrities, but you see so many people that go to jail unjustly, and no one speaks up, right? Including myself. But these people who have a platform and they see an injustice taking place, do they have the freedom to actually speak their minds when it comes to that? Do they have the ability to actually speak their minds, or is there someone telling them, hey, don't speak your mind when it comes to that because you might get punished? You know, and that is something that I always question, especially when it comes to cases like this, because this is the perfect opportunity to take this example, just like the Johnny Depp situation, right? No one went on the Johnny Depp train until they saw that he was winning. Before that, everyone was quiet, 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 even though they knew in their hearts the truth far before, long before Johnny Depp started winning in that trial. Long before that, the vast majority of people knew that he was right, knew that he was not lying. Same thing here. A lot of people know the truth. They already know the truth in their heart of hearts. They already know the truth. They already see what's going on. And a lot of people are not speaking up because they don't want to be on the wrong side, right? They don't want history to look at them poorly because the wrong side won, right? And I will tell you something. The truth always comes through. Whether it's 100 years later, whether it's 1,000 years later, the truth is going to come through. The truth is going to shine. And the people know the truth, especially in this case. Especially in this case. You see the kids in the streets. You see the people all over YouTube, all around the world. The people who have interest in the case, who have looked into the case, know the truth. They know the truth. And the truth will come out. There's more good people out there than there is evil. And all you need to do to defeat evil is to speak the truth, is to speak it, is to stand up and stop being quiet and have the courage to lose whatever it is that you have to lose. Lose it and keep your soul. Lose whatever you have to lose. Lose that. It's okay. What good is a man who has gained the world but lost his soul? Something along those lines is in the Bible, right? And I also believe that Christians and Muslims, doesn't matter if Andrew Tate switched to Islam and now the Muslims are, a lot of the people who are Muslims are supporting him. That is great. That is beautiful to see. That is absolutely beautiful to see that people support their brothers still, that people have something called loyalty still, right? In the Muslim community. Christians did not show that to Andrew Tate. Orthodox Christians, I don't remember if it was Catholic or I believe it was Orthodox Christian. They did not show that to Andrew Tate, right? They did not show that support to Andrew Tate. Well, in Greece they did, right? In Greece was Orthodox Christians. I'm not sure if it's the same Orthodox, but they did. And now is the time to stand up for justice. Now is the time to stand up against injustice, and now is the time to show loyalty towards people who have done good for us. To be honest, like Andrew and Tristan Tate have done nothing but good for the vast majority of young people, and it's time to I'm not saying do anything wrong. I'm not saying to just speak the truth. Just speak the truth. Speak what's in your heart. That's it. That's all you have to do is speak what's in your heart, right? Even if you get punished for it, just speak what you believe, because this has gone on long enough where people have to be quiet and have to tiptoe around certain topics because we're worried about losing some of our money, or we're worried about losing our jobs, or we're worried about losing some girl that we're dating. It's done. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Truth is truth, and we must speak it, and that is our duty. That is our duty. So this is the least I can do. It's not I don't have any following, like I said. I don't have any anything to lose YouTube wise either. So whatever. I just wanted to do the least that I can, and I do not know how else. And I cannot, to be honest. There is not much I can do else to help, right? They have high profile lawyers, all that type of stuff. There's not much I can do to help. And I cannot gather following out of nowhere either. But, let's just speak up the truth. Let's just speak up. We see it in plain sight. We've seen a lot of injustice in plain sight for so long. Just speak it. All the social media is canceled at the same time. There's something going on there that's fishy, right? There's obviously something that's going on there that's weird if all social media platforms cancel them at the same time. We must admit to that. And then the next step is this guy goes to jail and it keeps getting extended and extended and extended. And they look like they're getting tortured over there. And no one is speaking anything. No one is saying anything. If it was your brother, you wouldn't say anything. If it was your cousin, you wouldn't say anything. If it was your dad, you wouldn't say anything. You got to speak up. We got to speak up. It's over. Let's do it. That's it. The disrespect has gone too far. The lack of, it's just in plain sight they're doing these things, and the lack of regard to people, the lack of concern about people's opinions has gone so far that they don't even try to hide it at this point. They're just doing it. They don't care. And so that's my contribution, and I hope if it touched one person, then that's enough. If it sparked one fire, that's enough. Let's do it. Let's stay true to ourselves. Let's keep our souls.